We will come there later on, okay, why that. But just remember that when Mars is strong, somewhere the native will get connected with big vehicles to dig land, to flatten lands, etc. Okay, at least if nothing else, the native who has got strong Mars, he or she will like to watch it. Like there is some vehicle, the land is being dug, or there is some vehicle which is there to flatten that land. He or she will stop and keep watching. They will like watching that. Any places, second point, any places where they manufacture heavy vehicles. Okay, so in your own state, in your own city, you can find places where they manufacture heavy vehicles. And we are not talking about luxury or small vehicles. We are talking about manufacturing tractors or manufacturing trucks, heavy vehicles, okay, machinery, big machinery. Okay, so any places where they manufacture big machinery will also come. Okay, so, for example, Avadi is one place in Tamil Nadu. But otherwise, Khadki in Maharashtra, I know. Okay. So, places where they manufacture heavy vehicles. Third point, where there is a training center of military. So, if you have military area near you where you are staying, or if you know any military area, like in Maharashtra, Pune, I know NDA is one military area. Okay, so any training center or any training center of military or military area is ruled by Mars. Any small hill is Mars. Okay, in Marathi we call it as tekdi. In Hindi, I don't know what it is called, but small hill. I'm talking about small hill. Okay, is Mars. Next point, fifth point. Okay, so places where they build. Uh, so again, same point I'm covering basically. Places where they build body of buses or body of vehicles or such vehicles. Okay, trucks, buses. You can find any place in your area. That area or that place is ruled by Mars. Sixth point, any nearest vehicle depot. You have vehicle depot, right? Bus depot or where all trucks are parked, right? So any nearest or forget nearest, but any vehicle depot is Mars. So basically, now coming back to how to strengthen the Mars, regularly visiting all these places is a simple way to strengthen your Mars. Okay. So again, same thing, right? In a horoscope, you will find Mars is neither strong nor weak, right? In that case, you mix the predictions. So, for example, initially a problem will be there, and then you will come out of it. For example, court case will be there, but you will have escape. You will come out of it. Or litigation will be there. You will have fight. You will have to fight it out, but eventually you will be able to win, or you will be able to come out of it because Mars is losing strength as well as Mars is gaining strength. So you mix, okay, the predictions when Mars is neither strong or nor weak. Okay. Okay. Now we are moving on to next planet, which is Mercury. So you write heading as Mercury Karakatvas or Mercury Significations. First, Mercury indicates Buddhi. Mercury is Buddhi Karaka. Okay. In English, we call it as intelligence. So Mercury is intelligence. Second point, Mercury indicates memory power. Memory power. Your memory is Mercury. Third point, Mercury indicates your maternal uncle. So as far as relationship is concerned or Jiva associated is concerned, Mercury indicates your maternal uncle. Fourth point, Mercury indicates friends. So friends in general, okay, is Mercury. Fifth point, Mercury indicates your partners, your office colleagues. Okay. So your business partner or your spouse, your life partner is different. That is Venus. Okay. But in general, all your peers, all your partners, office colleagues, okay, your general friends, okay, is all Mercury. Sixth point, Mercury indicates duality. Anything that has two sides, anything that is double, anything that conveys two meanings, anything that repeats itself, because repeating is dual, right? Two times. All that is Mercury. So you write it as I tell you. Mercury indicates duality. Anything that has two sides, anything that is double, anything that conveys two meanings, or anything that repeats itself. All of it is Mercury. Okay. Next point. Anything to do with compromise or samadhan is Mercury. Okay. Bridging between two people. Okay. So you come two steps back, but you have a compromise. Don't argue too much, right? That is Mercury. So anything to do with compromise or samadhanam or samadhan is Mercury. Next point. Mercury does not like arguments. Okay, you write as I tell you. Mercury does not like arguments. Mercury likes to bridge between two people. Okay. So basically, Mercury is all about vyapara. Okay. So business, right? Mercury is business minded, business oriented. Okay, is Mercury. So in business, will you progress in business if you have argumentative nature, or if you have arguments with your customers? No, right? If you have a compromise, if you want to settle on things, if you like to bridge between people, if you have that convincing communicative skills, etc., right, then you will do well in business, correct? So that is all Mercury. Okay. Next point. So basically, Mercury is all about compromise, peace, reconciliation, cooperation. Okay, all of these traits are associated with Mercury. Next point, ninth point, working together is Mercury. Okay, so teamwork, alliance, all of this, okay, is Mercury. 10th point, bridging between two people or bridging two people together, bridging two organizations together, okay, bridging two people together, bridging two organizations together, bridging two things together, okay, fixing two things together. Anything to do with all of this, okay, is Mercury. Anything to do with partnership is Mercury. Okay, because partnership is two people, right? Only then partnership happens. So anything to do with partnership is Mercury. Next point. So you write this as a next point. Okay, point number 11. Anything to do with partnership is Mercury. So basically, you cannot live alone in life, right? So it's all about how you interact in the society. It's all about how you interact with people around you, right? There has to be some union, there has to be some unity, right? There has to be some cooperation. Only then you grow, right? So between husband and wife, also that cooperation, that unity is needed, correct? So when you have these traits, you can work well in your relationships. You can gain respect in the society, right? So that is why Mercury is very important planet. You have to have that intelligence. You remember very beginning of our class, I mentioned about that astrology 101 class, right? We covered, I mentioned about how important it is to keep writing, keep reading, and accentuate energies of Mercury, right? So to be able to succeed in life, to be able to go to that next level in life, Mercury is a very important planet. Okay. Point number 12, Mercury indicates commission. So any form of commission that you get. So may it be stock market, may it be chit fund, may it be, commission out of land, property, any form of commission, okay, is Mercury. Point number 13, your hand, right? Your hand with five fingers, that palm, right? Basically hand, Congress party, right? Hand with palm and five fingers, that is Mercury. Okay. Point number 14, anything to do with cooperative unions, cooperative societies. So we have this in our society. When we say society, our building, there are multiple buildings. We are staying in a corporate society, right? So that society, cooperative society or corporate society, all this is Mercury. Okay. Next point. So I already covered, but still you write it as a separate point. Indian National Congress Party of India itself, okay, is Mercury because symbol is hand. Point number 16, anything to do with maths, okay, Ganita, anything to do with calculation in general, okay, so anything to do with maths, maths is same as Ganita, okay, anything to do with calculation is Mercury. 17 point, Mercury is green in color, okay. So when we say Mercury is green in color, maybe you write it as a next point. Parrot is Mercury. The places associated with Mercury are Meenakshi Amman in Madurai. It is a very important sthala or very important place for Mercury. Okay, Meenakshi Amman in Madurai. Meenakshi Amman in Madurai is ruled by Mercury. Next point. Mercury is Amsa. Amsa is Ansh, right? It is part, it is Ansh, right? We call it as Ansh, Amsa, right? It is Ansh or Amsa of Mahavishnu. It is, so in English, how we will say an aspect of Mahavishnu is Mercury. Okay. 19, point number 19, humor is Mercury. A person is humorous or not in nature. Okay, that presence of mind, right? Good sense of humor. All of this is Mercury. So humor is Mercury. So some people have a knack of seeing humor in everything around them, right? So that is all Mercury. So for example, all these stand-up comedians is Mercury. Okay? So if you have someone in your family who is always making others laugh, who is humorous in nature, then you can connect, okay? Then that person is associated with the energies of Mercury. Next point, point number 20 or 21. Some people, yeah, so I think that's okay. Maybe we can go to the next point. A poet, right? A poet. So, especially a poet who is full of wit, okay, full of humor is Mercury. So, basically, coming back to that point of humor, right? Some people will find humor in toughest of things, right? So, it is like antidote for stress, correct? So, opposite of stress is Mercury. So basically, one should learn to live life like Mercury, right? The traits of Mercury. Anyway, moving ahead, point number 22. Cleverness is Mercury. Tactfulness or cleverness is Mercury. Okay? So Chaturya, what we call it as Chaturya is Mercury. Point number 23. Mercury is Jyotisha. Jyotish Shastra or Jyotisha is Mercury. Okay. So basically every graha in your horoscope has ability to give you the boon of being astrologer. Okay. So it is nothing that only when Mercury is strong in a horoscope the person can become astrologer. No, nothing like that. Every planet you will see that trait or that the ability to be an astrologer will be there. The style will be different. The person who is ruled by Saturn, he or she can also be astrologer. The style will be Saturn like style. The person who is ruled by Mercury, he will have that humorous or that communicative skills will be there, that convincing skills will be there, right? So, but in general, beyond all this, Mercury is signifies Jyotish. Okay? So, having said this, again, I'm repeating, any graha in your horoscope has ability to make you an astrologer. Okay, but still, having said all this, Mercury is Jyotisha. Okay, next point, ability to deal with people without offending them is Mercury. So, Lord Krishna characteristics you can think of, right? So, those are Mercury traits. So basically, I was coming back to that astrologer, right? So a couple of more examples. So for example, if let's say a person is becoming astrologer because of the planet Jupiter, let's say, then he will be a famous astrologer. Then if Saturn, then maybe traditional astrologer. Let's say Mercury, then this astrologer will be too much into mathematical calculations, right? let's say Ketu, then again that person can still be astrologer, but he will not speak more. He will speak very less. He will speak to the point, but he will give perfect predictions, something like that. Okay. Going to the next point, presence of mind. Next point, point number 25, presence of mind from emotional standpoint. Okay, presence of mind from emotional standpoint is moon. Okay, presence of mind can be two ways, right? So emotionally, if you are strong and emotionally you are able to connect with people, that kind of presence of mind from emotional perspective or emotional standpoint is moon. Okay, but there there is something to do with nick of time, right? Nick of time. At a particular time, native uses his common sense, right? Presence of mind. And then he uses his intelligence or buddhi, and he knows at that nick of time how to answer, right? That kind of presence of mind, that chaturya is Mercury. Okay? Emotional intelligence is moon, but the presence of mind from that wittiness, or when to say what, that thing also should has to come in your mind, in your brain, right? That trait is Mercury. Moving ahead, Mercury is music. Okay, Mercury is song. Next point, tantrikam, tantra, mantra. Okay, that is different. We are not talking about doing tantra. Okay, that is different. Tantrikam or tandiram. Okay, what it means is somebody who has strategy. Okay, somebody who knows the trick in order to gain certain things. Okay, so a person can have that trick, right? Does not mean that person is a tantric. Does not mean that the person knows tantra mantra, but he knows that knack he has, right? That trick he has in order to do certain things or in order to get certain things, right? That strategical mindset is Mercury. Okay, that we call as tantrikam or tandiram in Sanskrit. Next point is Mercury is gains, all about profit, all about gains is Mercury. That is the reason business or vyapara is Mercury. Okay. Next is Mercury is interest. Anything to do with interest money. It can be FD, it can be RD, recurring deposit, it can be post office, it can be your savings income, it can be stock market, mutual fund, it can be anything. Okay, it can be rental income also. But all of this you get owing to an interest, right? You're not earning it. You have earned something, you have kept it somewhere, and the interest owing to that you are getting, right? That is Mercury. Next is anything to do with rent or rental income is Mercury. So when we see, right, a person will have rental income or not, that time we will connect it with the Mercury. We will see how strong or how well placed Mercury is in a chart. Okay. Next point, anything to do with sewing is Mercury. Sewing. Sewing. Okay, sewing, weaving. The act that tailor does, right? That is Mercury. Why so? Because what tailor will do, he will take the fabric, he will cut that fabric into pieces and then he will stitch it, right? So as we discussed, anything about stitching two things together or bridging two things together or fixing two things together is Mercury. Okay, that is why sewing or tailor is Mercury. Textile is also Mercury. Next point, textile is also Mercury. So Venus is also textile. Okay, so there are multiple planets which signify textile, but here anything to do with knitting, anything to do with sewing, all of that is Mercury, right? So that is the reason textile is also associated with Mercury. Next point, handkerchief, right? Handkerchief that we have, that is Mercury. Next is, so when we want to pacify someone, when we want to make peace, typically we offer handkerchief, right, to have that samadhana, right? So handkerchief is Mercury. Mercury, next point, Mercury is love. Okay, so friendship as well as love, both is associated with Mercury. Okay. Next point, maybe I think point number 35. Being civilized is Mercury. A civilized behavior is Mercury. Okay. Next, anything to do with Ayul, long live, okay, the age of a person, long living, right, is also Mercury. Okay, so we always connect Ayul or longevity of a person, we always connect it with Saturn. Okay, we also connect it with eighth house. Okay, but Mercury also has big role to play when it comes to Ayul, okay, or when it comes to longevity of a person. Why? Maybe I'll try to explain now. So we know that eighth house, or we don't know, but you just remember for now. Okay, when we cover bhavas, you will know that. Okay, but for now, just remember that eighth house is longevity of a person or lifespan of a person. Okay, we will call it as Ayul. Eighth house is Ayul or longevity of a person. Okay, indirectly, third house also get connected with that. Why am I explaining this to you is because there is some concept called as Bhavat Bhavam. So fourth from fourth will be seventh. So four, four, five, six, seven. One, two, three, four. So fourth from fourth is seventh. So seventh is something that amplifies the significations or karakatvas of fourth. Okay, how you won't realize right now. Leave that aside. When we come to Ayul, you will understand why and how. Okay, but seventh house is something. Okay, I'll give you one example. Fourth house is happiness, right? We said fourth house is happiness, fourth house is health, correct? Now, if the person is healthy, if the person is happy, if the person has got good house, because fourth house is house also, land, property, etc. Okay, if the person is earning well, that means when the person is settled well in life, his happiness will get amplified, as in he will get married, because seventh house is marriage. Okay, so same way, the amplification of a house is signified by the house, the same number of houses from that house. So fourth from fourth is the amplification of fourth house. Okay, same way I'll try to explain for fifth house. Okay, so if we go here, I don't know why it is not. I'm just trying to edit this. Yeah, okay. So same way, fifth house, right? So fifth from fifth is ninth house. So Bhavat Bhavam, right? So fifth from fifth is ninth. So what it means, you have a fifth house here, right? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth house is Purva Punya. Okay, fifth house is what you have earned from your previous birth. You add your karmas in this birth to what you have gotten or what you have carried forward from previous birth, Purva Punya, okay, what you have carried forward from previous birth, you add the karmas or your deeds in this birth and you will be lucky, because ninth house is the house of Bhagya, the luck factor. Okay, so this is amplification of your Purva Punya. You will get Bhagya owing to the happenings or events in this lifetime based on what you have carried forward from the previous birth. Okay, same way now, extending this, right? If we check what is eighth from eighth, let's just quickly, I don't want to divert from the topic too much, because any which ways during predictive course we are going to cover all this, but let's quickly cover, right? Eighth house. So eighth from eighth is third. Let's see how. Okay, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8th. Okay. So if 8th indicates Ayul or longevity of a person, then third house is in fact the amplified version or of 8th house, that is longevity of a person. Okay. So yeah, so we got diverted, but I just wanted to quickly explain the concept of Bhavat Bhavam. Okay, so this is called as Bhavat Bhavam. So when we are predicting, let's say we are not getting clear answer from 5th house, then if we check into 9th house and if we see 9th house is indeed strong, then we know, even if on the face of it it looks like 5th house is not so very strong, through 9th house we know we will get finite answer because fifth is strong. Okay, so it will give us finite answer. You will have more clarity when we go into predictive course of studies. Okay, but this is how it will work. Anyway, going back to the points of our um, Mercury, right? So we were talking about significations of Mercury. So this is all about Karakatvas of Moon. Let us move to when Moon is well positioned in the horoscope. Before that, any questions?
No.
Okay.
हेलो.
Yeah, tell me.
एक्चुअली एक मुझे समझा नहीं एक्चुअली व्हाट यू सेड दैट मून इज not stable, that is flowing, and also the same thing with indicates bodily sukhas and comfort, so both are contradictory statement, so how to predict in that case?
नहीं. So let us say moon is strong, okay, in person's horoscope. तो
Okay.
इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि वॉट एवर थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग, सी लाइफ इज नेवर स्टेडी, राइट? लाइफ इज मूविंग कंटिन्यूअसली, लाइफ इज मूविंग, करेक्ट? योर
Okay.
टुडे इज नॉट सेम एज नेक्स्ट डे इज नॉट सेम एज नेक्स्ट डे. तो हर दिन अलग दिन है, राइट? सो
Yes.
मूवमेंट इज देयर इन पर्सनस लाइफ, दैट इज अनअवॉइडेबल. अगर मून स्ट्रांग है तो वो मूवमेंट बैलेंस्ड है. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल फ्लो ऑफ ब्लड, हमारे बॉडी के अंदर भी ब्लड तो फ्लो कंटिन्यूसली हो रहा है ना. कुछ भी स्टेबल नहीं है. एवरीथिंग इज मूविंग कंटिन्यूसली. इट इज पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ आवर लाइफ एंड ऑल्सो बॉडी. अगर ये मूवमेंट ऑफ ब्लड बैलेंस्ड है, इट इज नॉट मूविंग टू फास्ट, इट इज नॉट मूविंग टू स्लो, तो फिर सब कुछ ठीक है ना, सब कुछ अच्छा है. देन व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू विल एक्सपीरियंस? यू विल एक्सपीरियंस बॉडीली सुखास एंड कंफर्ट्स. अगर अपना लाइफ सेटल्ड है, अगर आपने आपके लाइफ में चेंजेस जो हो रहे हैं वो एकदम बैलेंस्ड वे से, धीरे, यू नो, विथ प्रॉपर, यू नो, व्हाट यू से, not very fast changing, ups and downs are not there in your life, right? It is all balanced. Same way body condition is also balanced. It will in turn bring bodily sukhas and comforts. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
let's say blood is moving too fast or too slow, then you will have issues like clots in the body. Blood clots will be there. Same way, if there are imbalanced changes in your life, definitely you're going to go through disturbances, mental disturbances, physical disturbances. All those things are going to be there in your. Accidents will happen, for example, right? If there are too many ups and downs in life. So when moon is afflicted, it will have that dosha pertaining to it. When moon is strong, at the same, because you know this is the key. Fourth house is the key to person's life. If you remember the pillars that we discussed, first
Yeah.
pillar was own personality, second pillar was fourth house, happiness and health. That is ruled by moon. Need to understand this. Okay, so that
Okay.
is why, if you remember, although in our predictive astrology course moon is malefic planet, it plays pivotal role when it comes to remedial astrology, when it comes to providing remedies to a person. You remember this line?
Yes, yes, you said.
So that is how it works. Okay.